Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. We're starting back on this little T-bucket build. Once again, this is a Tribute body from Speedway Motors, the Tribute T. It's a kit. Ordered it from Speedway. Let's get the legal stuff out of the way. They do not sponsor this any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to shoot from my hip on this because I'm not a computer guy. I'm not a video guy. Kind of a caveman I've been called when it comes to that kind of stuff. I think computers are a fad. They're not going to stick around. That's why I never figured that I'd need to learn them. So here I am in my 50s trying to learn computers and stuff. So I'm a lot better building stuff than I am with computers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the way that I would build this. It's not always going to be the way that other people build it, but it's just the way I've built stuff. Built quite a few hot rods, helped on quite a few and whatnot. So I think I got a pretty good understanding. We're going to talk about different ways to do things versus the way I'm going to do it, if that would make any sense to you. So we're going to mount the body today. As you can see, I got the body sitting off the frame. And in this, if I can get this to zoom in. Let's see here. There we go. That looks like it zoomed in. As you can see right back here, got them in the back, got them in the middle, got them in the front. Some holes that they've got pre-drilled already. And that's where you're going to mount the body. So on the chassis, there is nothing drilled for you. So, I mean, you can build this or you can mount this body without any welding. I'm kind of a welder guy, so I like to weld. And so this is one of the ways you can do it. They got the bucket body mounting kit. Basically, it's some rubber plugs, drill a hole, goes in the frame, body goes on, the bolt goes in, and this part squishes up against the bottom or the inside of the frame, and that holds the body on. That works for several things. I'm sure it'll work for this. I'm not a big fan of that. So what I like to do is, let me get my mess out of the way, is I go up to the hardware store, and I can either make these on a lathe, or I can just go up to the hardware store on many runs up there. And this is for bolting together all thread. So 2 pieces all thread comes in. This is threaded all the way. So the downfall on this is galvanized. You don't want to weld a lot of galvanized. I try not to weld any galvanized. So what I like to do is I'll thread these on a little handle, take them over my bead blaster, and I'll blast the galvanizing off. Most of it, as much as I can, real quick. Then I take it, divide it in half. I mark it. Let's see, it'd be 7/8 is half of an 1 3/4 if my math is correct. I'll put a mark on that. I can take this over to my bandsaw. I can cut on my bandsaw, little cutoff wheel on an air grinder. This is what I like to use. I've got a battery operated. This is the wheel that I use, the Metabo. They're very good. They're thin, make good cuts, and they last a long time. They're made in Germany. They're a great product. They do not sponsor me in any way, shape, or form, although it would be nice and I wouldn't have to pay for that stuff. But that being said, I just put them in my vise. I cut them. That's almost in half, but it's close enough for what we're going for. Now, what I'll do now is I'll take the outside measurement across this, get it, it looks like about a 5/8, and I'll drill a 5/8 hole. Now, since we're speaking about holes, this is the way I like to do it. Okay, say this is the hole in the body. I'll come, and these transfer punches, let's see if you can see the tip of that thing. See how that's got a real fine point on the end of it? The other end doesn't. So what this is made for is to go down in a hole, and that one does not fit. So this will go through the hole, point in down. So this is our body, and I'll show you on this piece of tape. Let me zoom in on this. Okay, so once again, that's our body. I'll put this in there, and I'll hold it, and that'll locate the center. Now this is where some people mess up. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. On these transfer punches, you get a little punch, and that's it. You pull it out, and you can see there you got a little mark. Then I pick up my center punch. I can line that up, and I can give that a better whack. And right there is the center of this hole. So then what I do is I take a starter bit, and I'll drill that. Then since that's 5/8, I'll go to a 3/8 or something. You know, that gets it started. Then I'll drill in there. Then I'll finish it off with my 5/8 drill bit. Drill that out. Then I drop this in there to where it's flush. It'll be flush with the top of the frame. And then I'm going to weld all the way around that with my TIG welder. And that'll give me a really nice body mount. So with that being said, I'm going to, let's see if I can figure this out. I'm going to lay some tape on there and get ready to set the body back on and get it mounted. So I like to use tape because it'll show up just a little bit nicer or a little better than trying to look for that dimple on that bare steel. You can use any kind of tape with this. My wife had some painter tape in the house, so that's what I stole and used, or I am using. Just don't tell her, and we'll get along just fine. So now that the tape's on, when I make that center punch hole, or that transfer punch hole, you can see it a little better. So let me get this camera readjusted. And I'm trying to keep these videos short because I don't have a lot of time, and I know everybody else doesn't have a lot of time to watch it. So there we go. We've got the body sitting on there. I mean, it does fit really nice. Let me try and unhook this and do a little walk around. As you can see it, you know, got some really nice fit up there. Come up here where the steering is, where the fit up. You know, excuse the mess in the shop. We got a lot of projects going on. Pretty cool looking. So you can never have too many projects. So get this baby mounted back up in there. Okay, I want to make sure it's back all the way, and I want to take some measurements on it to make sure it's centered up. Last thing I want to do is get it all put together and then look back and, yeah, guess what? It's not centered. So get this thing to stand still for me. And what I'm going to center up on this is I want to take a measurement of this area right here on both sides and center the cab up in the front. And I'll do the same on the back. So instead of a tape measure, got a little 6-inch rule because it's really handy. So if I can get this thing bent down. Looks like 5/16 there. And I'll come over to this side. And we got a 1/2 inch. So let me bump it over just a little bit. That looks like a 3/8. And 3/8. Let's see. 7/16. So we're within a, that's really close. Check the back on that, and that's looking pretty good. So, and that's just a quick measurement. I'll actually do a little better measuring here, but let me just walk you through this again on everything that I'll use to put these in. So check one more measurement here. That's an 1/8 inch. That's an there we go. Okay. So once again, take the center punch, lay it in my hole, give a little tap, give a little tap. That one didn't quite. Let me get a smaller transfer punch on this. There we go. Hear the difference on that? And one more over in the front here. Okay, so I got my transfer punch holes marked. We'll pick the body back up. Not quite sure why I brought that all over. We'll pick the body up and finish marking that. Okay, now that I got the center transferred, we'll come back and we'll look for the little divots. Let's see if you can see them here. Okay, there's one. So now I'll put my center punch in there. See if I can hold everything. Got my center punch, and that's where I'll start drilling. So that's where we're going to leave off of this video. And we come back, I'll have them all drilled, inserts in, we'll do a little welding, a little grinding, put them in, we'll be good. Thank you for watching.